I get this question a lot when you're installing Windows 7 on a PC and you're currently running XP as your primary operating system. You're going to need to do a fresh install or partition the drive. So let's say you're convinced that Windows 7 is going to be your next operating system and you just want to do a fresh install of Windows 7 over your current hard drive. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to back up your data, and a really simple way to do that would be to use a program called Carbonite. What Carbonite does is it automatically runs in the background. It will take and basically grab all of your data. It will encrypt that data, which means it's basically breaking it into jumbled up pieces, so that if somebody were to intercept the transfer of data, they would not be able to unscramble it into a usable format. It takes that encrypted data and pushes it off-site onto an off-site storage like a server. But basically it's always running in the background. You don't even have to think about it. Now it does have some nice application. If you have an iPhone, there is an iPhone app for Carbonite where you can actually get your files that are backed up. In addition, it is nice because it's always running in the background. You don't even need to think about it. $54.95 per year. I mean, that's really nothing when you think about you know, the data that you have and how valuable it is. Now, and you can store, you can send as much data out there as you want. There is no limit. Now, it has to be the primary hard drive of the system you're operating from. So that means you can't just continue to plug in your USB drive or add another hard drive to the system. It's just going to recognize that one hard drive. Now, another alternative is Mozy. And Mozy works a little bit differently. It's kind of pay as you go. There's certain rates for the data that you send out there. I believe they do have memberships of like $4 or $5 a month, and that would be unlimited online backups, you know, for your personal files. It will encrypt the data. It will also send it off-site. Of the two, I've used both Carbonite and Mozy. I would say Carbonite is a little bit superior as far as a more user-friendly experience. Mozy does tend to, you do have to kind of understand it a little bit more and make sure that it's up and operating, and typically you do have some other control features with Mozy. I don't know, I kind of liked the way Carbonite felt, but both of them are excellent services. The third and probably the most complicated is Amazon S3. Now, I only say that because it works more like a FTP server, and so what you're doing is you're connecting to a server on the Amazon S3 network, and S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. Once you're connected, you're just dragging and dropping your data across that platform, and the data is not generically encrypted. It's unencrypted. It's sent over the network. All of these services, the biggest disadvantage that you have is that it does take a long time to back up these files. I want to say for every gig it's going to take approximately 30 minutes to an hour to transfer, where if you're backing up 1 gig of data onto an external hard drive, there again depending on your external hard drive speed, but you're looking at maybe 5 to 10 minutes to just transfer that data over. Now, what I've used in the past with Amazon S3, which I do like, is the Firefox plugin. What the Firefox plugin enables you to do, it sets up kind of a control panel for Amazon S3. The cool part about Amazon S3 is you always have access to your files. They're one click away. It becomes part of your browser essentially, and it's unlimited. You can send out as much data as possible as you want. Now they are going to charge you, and there's this matrix that I wanted to show you, and if you ever figure it out, let me know, send me an email. But here's the pricing for it. So they're going to charge you to move the data off-site. They're going to charge you for the storage of data, and then if you need to download your data again, if you actually need to recover, there's a charge for that. Now it's pennies. I've moved over. It was about 100 gigs last month. I want to say it was like $2. So it's incredibly scalable. It's a very low-cost system. But there again, if you want just something that's really, really simple, just totally running in the background, that's going to be Mozy or Carbonite, and I somewhat prefer Carbonite over Mozy, but both are good. And a great video on how to set up Amazon S3 is this one, which is you just type in Amazon S3 onto YouTube, and this guy Mr. Video, Ask Mr. Video, he did a really nice video on how to set it up, because there's these passwords and keys that you have to generate, and it can be a little bit confusing for the average user, but all three of these systems are going to be good for you. Okay, so here's the Amazon S3 with the Firefox plugin, and what you'll notice here is I can go to any one of my folders and just upload the file straight across. It's going to ask me to pick one of these. They call them buckets, but basically I can put it in any one of these places, and it'll tell me the progress and all of that. The reason why I think a lot of people like this is your files are totally accessible. So I can go into any one of these little libraries here, and it's going to basically pop my files. I'll be able to, I have pretty, good control over the files. So, if I have a PHP file and I need to pull that across, I can download it fairly quickly. Boom, it's right there on my desktop. I see the progress, the data, and there again, that all stays up on the cloud. So it's on my desktop and it's also up in the cloud. There again, total redundancy is in the system. One of the things that a lot of people forget to do is they forget to back up their passwords. I found this great product called LastPass. So what you do is you load this in, you go to all your websites that you're going to, you make sure that you save all your passwords, and then you just log in to LastPass every time once you upload Windows 7, you would obviously load the appropriate browser, and then from there it has this little login function. I'll log in right here to mine. It's going to pop, and you would have just one password, logs you in, and then it's going to give you access to all of your passwords. So here's all the sites that I go to, and it will tell me how long ago I was on those sites, etc. But they're all stored here. You can have multiple different people, stuff like that.